This is a 2011 Kia Sorento 3.5 liter 6-cylinder. I'm going to replace the PCV valve today. There's other videos that show the location, and I thought I would just video my attempt just to show maybe some extra information on how to get at it. Like the other video showed, the PCV valve is, let me see if I can do it, is down there. In my case, it has a foam around, I don't know why, a foam around the hexagon piece of that PCV valve. So in any case, I think I'm going to remove the airbox, then the throttle body, and I'm thinking that should give me easy access. So the first thing is to remove this clip, and use a small screwdriver to get it out of there, and I'm going to then disconnect that connector, that tube, and I'm thinking that's, oh, there's one more there, right there. So I think that should get me and maybe that connector to get the airbox off. First step is to remove the electrical connector from top of the airbox. I'm not sure how this little cable clamp comes, but if you get a small screwdriver under there, you should be able to wedge it out. And that looks like it's out. And let me see here. That connector, lift up on the tab with one screwdriver and wedge that in there to help yourself pull it out. Now I should be able to pull out by hand. There we go. That's that one. I'll remove this tube clamp. There, that's that one. And there's one underneath. Just using my pliers to pull that down. And now I got the clamp down, now I'm just gonna twist and pull. Alright, that's off. And now I think I'm going to disconnect this one, make it a little easier. So I'm going to loosen this clamp up. So after loosening this clamp, I kind of pushed it out of the way. I released 4 clamps from my top of my filter housing here, 2 up here, 2 in the bottom. Then I removed my K&N filter here so I don't damage that. And now this should kind of come out. So that's that. Next is, I think, loosen this clamp, and then remove the throttle, this hose. It's connected now. Next step is to remove the throttle body. I think I'm gonna remove that one connector there, and then there's 3 10mm screws, one right there, there, and there, and then there, I think it's a 12 or 14, looks like a 12 underneath right there that I gotta get at. Doesn't look too bad. Now the throttle body, I think push down on this tab and it should pull right out, I'm thinking. That's that connector. And then 12 millimeter on the bottom. It's the 12 millimeter. Now the 10s. There's two hoses on the bottom that I'll just leave connected. Those are for radiator fluid, as I come to find out, but I did remove that harness just to get it out of the way. Now I should be able to pull this down and get good access to the PCV valve. So removing that clamp was a little bear. I used shorter pliers, and then I reached behind or underneath to remove that clamp. So that has a little bit of a struggle, and then I use a screwdriver from the top to kind of push the clamp back. So now I'll take off that hose off the PCV valve. So there is the PCV valve with the hose removed, and I did remove that styrofoam piece. Again, not sure why that's on there. Maybe I'll put it back on. So now I'll just take 10 mil or whatever size that is, 14 or something, and remove that. So this is my setup just to get the right length of a socket. So it's a 14 millimeter deep socket. So I got the old one out, and if I shake the old one, it seems like it's working, but really gummy in there, whereas this one rattles much more nicely. So even though working, probably a good time to replace it. So that's what it looks like out of there. Now I'll just use the same socket arrangement and put the new one back in. So new PCV valve is in, and I just orientated the clamp differently so I can get at it from the top here, which made it a much easier. Now I'll put the throttle body back on. So now I just putting the 4 bolts back on the throttle body. 1, 2, 12 millimeter one down there, and then this one over here. Don't forget to put the bracket with it, like I did, and had to take it back off. And I need to connect the 2 connectors there first, probably, before I put that bracket on. So I got the throttle body back in. Just a note, I did use some throttle body cleaner and wiped out all the gumminess around the throttle there, or throttle plate. So maybe take the time now to clean that to prevent it from sticking someday. Next is just putting this back in place. I won't tighten the clamps, I'll just get things back together. When you put the throttle body back, make sure you kind of lined up that slot there that fits, oops, sorry, that kind of fits with the casting there. Before I put the air filter box back on, I want to make sure I don't have any dirt inside my throttle body there, and I can see I have some. Don't know if you can pick up on that, but I'm going to take some throttle body cleaner with a wet rag, or wet that rag, and clean that out before I put the box back on. Now just putting the top cover back on. Like the clamp on the other side, make sure you kind of line up the notches there. So I put the air filter back in and put the top cover in place, and then 2 clamps on the bottom similar to the top here. So there's 4 total. Now I'll put this wiring harness back in, this tube, and then there's a tube here I got to put back in, and then that should be it. So I put the electrical connector back on, and then I tighten my 2 hose clamps, one there and one right there, and then like I mentioned before, there's the hose with the clamp on there, and then that one as well. So I think that does it. Not a bad job. Probably take you an hour, I guess, but hopefully this video helps you get it done quickly.